First, I would like to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. I am the proud superintendent of Kentucky Schools and excited to share with you today that this is truly a very special day. It is a day of celebration, inclusion, and the boundless possibilities of community collaboration. We are gathered here on this bright and beautiful morning this morning to mark the grand opening of our new handicapped full accessible playground titled Everyone's Playground. This playground represents a beacon of hope, equality, and commitment to creating a world where everyone, regardless of their abilities, can play, laugh, and make memories together. I am reminded of a quote by Helen Keller, a remarkable woman who overcame enormous challenges. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. This playground is a testament to what can be achieved when a community comes together with a shared vision, a shared purpose, and the unwavering belief that inclusivity is not an option, but a necessity. In designing this playground, we have ensured that every child, every parent, and every caregiver will have the opportunity to experience the joy and laughter that a playground can bring. We have removed barriers and replaced them with bridges. We have turned obstacles into opportunities. We have transformed a dream into reality. This playground is more than just a collection of swings, slides, and climbing structures. It is a symbol of our commitment to fostering an inclusive society where no child, and I mean no child, is left behind. It is a place where friendship will be formed, where imaginations run wild, and where the simple act of play will transcend the boundaries of disability. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and express our heartfelt gratitude to all those who have made this dream a reality and have brought us to this very moment. Your commitment to making this playground accessible to all is an inspiration to us all. Today is not just about the past and the hard work that has brought us to this point. It is also about the future. It is about the smiles on the faces of the children who will come here to play, the laughter that will fill the air, and the friendships that will be forged. It is about creating a legacy of inclusivity that will resonate for generations to come. As we cut the ribbon today, let us not only celebrate this beautiful playground, but also renew our commitment to inclusivity and accessibility in all aspects of our community. Let us remember that it is through our collective actions that we can truly change the world for the better. Together, every student, every day. Thank you. Now, let's please give a warm welcome to our Governor, Dan McCabe, as he comes up to share his remarks.
Thank you, Superintendent. And it's great to be here in Pawtucket. Curvin, thank you for all you do here as well, and of course the school committee members. And I did get a text from my friend Kim a few weeks ago saying, geez, we'd love to have you here. to celebrate this playground that I know the school committee, and I know that Kim was certainly inspired by her daughter Keegan, and so we got to be here is a pleasure. And as the superintendent said, look, this is an important part of families and young people's lives, is when they have recreate together and they exercise together, and it's good for them, and it's good for the community. So I just want to congratulate everyone. Everybody's playground concept is one that is going to really bring communities together. All right, it's going to bring communities together. I know that's what Kim's dream was here, and as well as the Joanne, who's already lobbying me for more money. Where's Joanne's over there? Yes, Joanne's already lobbying me for more money. So we're going to try to make as many good things happen as we possibly can. This falls right into the goals that we've set on the Learn 365. We're supporting our schools, supporting our families, and making sure that young people reach their potential in all aspects of that, whether it's academic, whether it's athletic, whether it's the arts, and a playground like this really is like a beginning of those relationships that are built, at a young age, where young people create friendships, and those friendships continue for a lifetime. And that's what you're doing on a playground like this. You're building lifetime experiences and lifetime memories for not only families, but also the young people that are going to enjoy the playground. I remember going back when our daughter was maybe 4 or 5 years old. One of the pictures in our house is at a playground with Kara, on a swing that was like a tire swing. And I thought I was a good photographer at the time, but it's still there. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. You're going to have these memories that are going to live for decades. And that's what's happening here. So congratulations to the schools as well as the city, and also the families and the young people that are going to enjoy this playground. So I'll give the mic back to you if you like. Thank you so much. Take the pictures. Have the families take the pictures.
Thank you. I'm happy to welcome our next guest, Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, this morning as she shares her remarks. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning. I'm honored to be able to join all of you here. Thank you for including me with this important moment. I want to thank Governor McCabe for his commitment to education and making sure that every kid gets access to the support that they need through the education compact. He's going to be going to Little Compton a little bit to sign another one. Thank you, Governor McCabe. Mayor Curvin, thank you so much for being so accessible and always worry about improving the quality of life in your city. I love coming here, and it's always great to be with you. And, I started the Providence City Council, so I just want to say to Councilman Moran, it's so glad to be here with you, and thank you for prioritizing investment in a playground and investment in the community. I know how tough it is when we get all those CDBG applications to prioritize which one we're going to move forward, but you're making a commitment to this project. It's so important to make sure that everyone has access to a playground that is accessible. Every child deserves the opportunity to play and participate with their friends. This ADA accessible playground will ensure every student can be part of the fun and growth with their peers. The Long-Term Care Coordinator Council, which I chair, is charged with promoting ADA accessibility here in Rhode Island. We have so much work to do still to make sure that our state is fully accessible to thousands of Rhode Islanders with disability. And we are also working to ensure that everywhere in our state, from this playground to our housing, is built thinking about making it accessible to everyone. And that work doesn't happen in silos. It takes a whole community to come together like it just happened here. I want to encourage all of you to continue this type of collaboration, making sure that we are building a state of Rhode Island that is accessible to everyone. We're thinking about the children are going to be using the playground, but think about this. Our population continues to age in the state of Rhode Island. We're going to have more individuals with mobility devices coming, grandparents that want to come and see their kids playing, and we have to make sure that it's accessible to them to be able to have access to it. So thank you so much for including me today. Congratulations, and I'm so glad also I see Representative Fellis here. Thank you so much, Rep. Fellis, for everything that you do to make our state more accessible. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's give a heartfelt welcome to our very own Mayor, Donald Curvin.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Superintendent. I don't think I need the mic because everybody will tell me that I have a big mouth. So, good morning, everyone. It's glad to be here as we cut this ribbon. I'm going to put this down, so just shut up. I want to first thank the governor and the lieutenant governor for being here, and I want to recognize some of the other dignitaries who are here. We have Rep. Felix. We have Councilor Moran, who represents this district. We have school committee members. You have Kim Grant and Joanne Benolo up here. We have Jay Charbonneau and Masha Fernandez out there as well. To Principal Nelson, thank you for your leadership. To the superintendent, Assistant Superintendent Ramsey Rabbit, and of course, the Teachers Union President, Ron Beaupre. Together in that collaboration, we've been able to move our city forward in a lot of directions. And this is a great example of coming together. Superintendent Royal, I really want to share with you the excitement that you bring into this district. And I'm looking forward to building on our relationship that we already have started. This nearly $1.3 million project, 14,000 square feet of development here, shows that our city is a place where everybody wants to be, regardless of their abilities, and they can come together and play, and I think that's so important. By investing in inclusive spaces like this playground, we send a powerful message that the governor had recognized to the younger generation, that values of equality, acceptance, and compassion will always shape our community. Little story. In spring of, I think it was 2022, Principal Nelson and the Curvin McCabe teachers and faculty we're deciding to make this school a more inclusive learning environment for all students, and applied for, I think, a $200,000 grant to CDBG, which started off, and then the school committee at the leadership of Kim Grant, we're investing in that community. I do want to recognize and thank the teachers, though, the faculty. There are some members of planning who I want to recognize as well, from engineer Mike Wilcox, for putting 100 hours in this project, as well as our planning director and her team. And without your hard work and many others, this wouldn't have happened. I want to recognize and thank Chairperson of the Facilities Committee, Joanne Benolo, for her involvement as well in leading this through support through her responsibilities there. Kim, your faith and your hard work has been so important to this project. We know that you have the inspiration in your daughter. We were talking about that earlier, but I'm glad that because of your leadership and our collaboration, we're able to build this and make this play space such available to people. I'm going to go off script for 1 second. I just want to, we don't do this enough, but I was approached in the parking lot by one of the neighbors, and she wanted to commend the hard workers that were here during the rain and the cold time. She said it was really, I say exciting, but proud to see, she said, to please recognize them. And then she threw a shout out to the Pawtucket Police and the school department for making sure the traffic stays controlled, because she lives on the corner house and saw a lot of people running through the stop sign. But again, this is really about working together, the collaboration, and making our city a desirable place to live. I look forward to cutting the ribbon, and I'll turn the mic back. Well, now I'll turn the mic to you. So.
Thank you. Now, let's give an applause and welcome our president of the Teacher Alliance, Mr. Ron Beaupre.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Ron Beaupre. I'm president of the Pawtucket Teachers Alliance and a proud fourth grade teacher at Agnes Little School. Long before that, in the fall of 1978, I was a Curvin McCabe Cub, starting here just as the school was brand new. It's always like coming home every time I get to visit, the opportunity to visit this amazing school. What could be better to come home to than to celebrate the completion of our first fully accessible playground in the city of Pawtucket. Thank you, Superintendent Royal, Chairman Shalell, Principal Nelson, members of the school committee, and most of all, the students and faculty of Curvin McCabe Elementary School. I am truly honored to be able to share in this celebration. I remember when Deputy Chairperson Grant first discussed the desire to install a playground that would allow the full inclusion of all children, regardless of their different abilities. An ambitious endeavor, indeed. But thanks to her persistent advocacy for all kids and collaboration with Mrs. Bonolo and the staff, here we are today staring at this amazing community play area. Mrs. Grant, Mrs. Bonolo, look what you've done. Thank you. And I'm glad Mrs. Bonolo has already talked to the governor about some funding, because we certainly look forward to Mrs. Bonolo's and Mrs. Grant's persistence, as I'm sure this is not going to be the last all-kids playground in this city. To Curvin McCabe students, I ask you this question. What is the best word to describe childhood? For me, it's play. The great Fred Rogers said, play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. Play is the real work of childhood. This playground is the place where everyone gets to play and learn together. So today, and always remember, when you are playing, you are learning. Happy times are never ending when we're playing and pretending. Never stop playing. With that, it is my very distinct honor to recognize the hardworking, amazing educator, one of the many here at Curvin McCabe, Mrs. Amy Fitzpatrick.
Thank you. I don't know if I need this either. I have my teacher voice. Good morning. Morning. My name is Amy Fitzpatrick. I have grown up in Pawtucket and continue to be a resident in Pawtucket. I have just started teaching, I can't believe I'm saying this, I've just started teaching my 25th class here at Curvin McCabe School. I have continued to stay at the school. Thank you. I have continued to stay at this school due to the feeling of community and the family-like atmosphere that is exhibited inside and outside the school walls. Throughout the past 24 years while working at Curvin McCabe, I have watched this large recess yard at the corner of Mendon Ave and Cottage Street barely change. When I started at the school, 24 years ago, when I started at the school, there was one tree in the yard, it was back there. There was one tree in the yard, a basketball, kickball diamond, and a few hopscotch games that were painted onto the hard cement ground. After a couple of years, the tree was taken down, and there was no shade. We have been granted help with the Hasbro Company and Playworks and have small donations from companies at times throughout the years. However, it's really never been enough. And with most recess materials, jump ropes, balls, soccer net, etc., were supplied by classroom teachers. Recess is it's such an important part of the day. It allows for students to release endorphins, allow the stress and anxiety of the classroom new lessons, their stress be alleviated. Students outside running around and playing builds both gross and fine motor skills, as well as improved coordination and body strength. It also challenges students to develop imaginative skills necessary to gain self-confidence and advance critical thinking capabilities. Most importantly, this shows, and I'm sure all my coworkers would agree, you saw them out here. It's the social aspect of the playground for everyone. All-inclusive playground, like this playground, now at Curvin McCabe, has considered the needs of everyone. It improves the motivation to interact with each other, collaborate with peers, and all within a safe environment. They learn new social skills, such as empathy and cooperation. And again, most importantly, they form strong friendships. That's it.
Thank you, thank you. Now, I would first like to say thank you so much to our school committee members, all, even the ones that had opportunity to attend today. Thank you for coming out. And now I'd like to give a very special welcome to our school committee member, Ms. Joanne Bonello.
Morning.
Good morning.
There are so many people in this audience that need to be recognized. Governor McCabe, Lieutenant Governor Matos, Representative Felix, City Councilman Moran, school committee members, Kim Grant, Jay Charbonneau, Marsha Fernandez, Mr. Beaupre, the teachers, our special educator, Mrs. Nelson, the principal, Mike Wilcox from the city for planning. We spent a lot of hours with him. I came to be on this committee at the request of Mrs. Grant. Mr. Charbonneau was the facilities chair at that point in time, and they talked about having an inclusive playground. Now there's ADA compliant, and then there's fully inclusive. So we didn't want ADA compliant. We wanted something that was fully inclusive. In the time that we started doing this with Melissa Devine, our then CFO, Holly Demers from Collier's, we went to visit playgrounds. We went to Fairhaven, where Kim actually took her daughter to play, because that was the only all-inclusive playground where she had the ability to be part of the rest of the kids. We didn't have anything that even came close. So we started working on everyone's playground, and it's been a joy. I learned a lot of things, and in my mind, and Kim, I've had the opportunity to meet her daughter Tegan on a few occasions. Every piece of equipment was looked at with, is this something Tegan can play with? And I was very specific that their equipment, the equipment for the otherwise able children, was included with the equipment of the able children and not set apart, where they tried to put different pieces of equipment different places, and it's like, no, they need to be able to play with their peers. And that was really important to me. I learned a lot. I posted the development of this playground on Facebook on some of the pages that I went to, and there was a grandmother that said, this is wonderful. I live in Pawtucket and I go to Fairhaven to take my granddaughter to play, very much like Mrs. Grant. And now we have offered this to our community. So in that vein, this playground has now been dedicated to the inspiration of Tegan Grant. There will be a plaque put on one of the picnic tables for her, so when she comes here, she will know, and when people come here in the future, they'll ask who this Tegan Grant is, and they'll be able to Google it thanks to your news reporters, and they'll be able to find out the story of Tegan Grant, which Mrs. Grant will tell you. Before I close, this is not the first, this is the first in Pawtucket. 20 years ago, we attempted to build a handicap playground at Curtis School, and due to lack of funds and the ability to replace key items, that one was ADA compliant. It has gone into disrepair. Next year, Kim and I will work on 2 more playgrounds. We will put fully accessible playgrounds, thanks to the school committee and the school department, in Curtis Elementary School and in Cunningham Elementary School.
No longer will a school be built in Pawtucket or refurbished in Pawtucket that does not have a fully accessible handicap playground. Those days are gone. And I hope that Pawtucket takes the lead in a lot of things. I hope the other districts will start to do the same thing. We have 3 playgrounds going in at Baldwin. That's why I asked the governor for $4 million. We have, just so you know,
Where's his
and I'm
checkbook?
counting on it. He checked his pockets, it wasn't there, but he'll work on it. We have a pre-K playground going in. We have a K-2 playground going in, and we have a 3 to 5 playground going in. All of those playgrounds will be fully handicap accessible. They will be more than ADA compliant, and they will make the children smile. My granddaughter's been here. She loves it. The other parents I've met and the kids I've seen, they love it. And I know by the looks on your faces, the teachers are loving it too. So thank you, Kim, for including me in this project. Thank you, Mr. Charbonneau. And thank you all for coming. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Kim Grant, who is the mother of the inspiration of this playground. And she is the one who has fought for all of our otherwise able children.
Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that. Can you guys all hear me? It's so hard when you have a microphone. Can you?
Now you can.
Is it loud?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you can all hear me. Good morning. My name is Kimberly Grant, Deputy Chair of the Pawtucket School Committee. Sorry. I'd like to start by thanking all of you for attending the ribbon cutting for everyone's playground. I'm just going to actually... As most of you know, my passion is advocating and seeing that special needs children receive the same opportunities, whether it be in play or education, as other children. This all came about through experiences with my own daughter. When the idea of a playground came before the school committee by some of the teachers here at Curvin McCabe, I saw an opportunity. Their advocating was appreciated so much, and we saw a chance to collaborate with the city. After speaking with then Chair Jay Charbonneau, who welcomed and encouraged me to lead this, our team included Joanne Bonolo, Colliers, John Cody, Mike Wilcox from the city, former CFO Melissa Devine, and Shannon Nelson, principal of Curvin. Playgrounds, besides other things, are very difficult to find that have proper accessibility. And I believe no child should sit by and not be able to participate. In closing, I want to thank the school committee members for all the support, the superintendent, the teachers at Curvin McCabe School, and most of all, my family. My husband, who's always so supportive, and my Tegan, who is the inspiration for this beautiful playground that every child can enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, next we will move on to our ribbon cutting ceremony. Behind me is the ribbon. So we'll be up for that portion, and that's also our photo opportunity. So please join us.
Gonna be the best boy.
I want to do this in case she slips.
We're gonna do the fake ones. Come on, you gotta do the fake ones. Well, don't do it right away.
Oh, don't do it right away.
They have to do a countdown.
1, 2, 3.
Now take a piece of the ribbon and bring it with you.
Listen, take those scissors off.
Let's see. Well, we give the big scissors. Yeah, get it for you.